Hey everyone, Heather here, and as you can see, Tom and I redid my office, and I'm so excited about it that I wanted to make a video walking you through the entire transformation step by step. It took a few days, it took a few iterations, and it is still a work in progress, but I'm so excited about where it's at. Now, the inspiration behind me wanting to redesign my office is that I recognize that I was not spending any time in here unless I had to. So for the YouTube Huddle Up weekly live stream, the Couples Table weekly live stream, anytime I had to record a video or jump on a Zoom call or Zoom meeting, as soon as those were over, I would turn everything off and leave this room immediately. And every time I did work, checked emails, edited videos, worked on my laptop, whatever, I would be on the couch, in the kitchen, dining room, anywhere but here. That's when I was like, I want to see if I can intentionally design a space that I not only want to spend time in, but could help me feel like I'm in my zone, can help me feel the most creative, the most productive, the most inspired. And I can't even tell you, it totally worked. It has been such a night and day difference. I dream about being in this space. I not only want to do work here, I not only come up with new ideas, but I just want to hang out in here. I want to read books. I want to, listen to music. With all that said, I'm going to jump into the tour, walk through the whole thing, and I will also include any links to stuff that we use, stuff that we got to make all this happen in case you want to check it out for your own space. All right, let's get started. The non-negotiable was that I did not want to mess up anything that had to do with my YouTube background because I love it the way that it is. And that includes the configuration of my desk. So this is kind of weird because my desk is not flushed up against the wall. All right, here's a wider shot. So normally you'd probably put the desk up against this wall, but I have it at the corner because of the background. It shows this corner and it allows me to have more depth with the shot. So I didn't want to move the weird angle of this desk. So here's what the situation behind my desk looked like before. I had 3 tripods back here and 2 drawer thingies. And as you can see, the cables were just all over the place. And here it is now. I took out both those desk drawer things and there are only 3 wires. And this is actually a black wire, but I just thought it would blend in a little bit more, not be so obvious with this wire cover. And here's what we did with the wires underneath the desk. We installed these 2 wire caddies. So one over here and one over there. And basically everything sits in here. There's a power bank or power strip thing right over here. I had to get that. It has 12 slots. We also wrapped the individual wires in that same wire cover. This one is a little bit bigger, so multiple wires can fit in here. But so it runs over here. And basically when there was any extra slack with the wires, we would just run it back and forth here so that there wasn't any drag. Also, we got a huge pack of these. There's one dangling right here, but these are like Velcro things where you can hook a bunch of wires and kind of scrunch them together. Super handy. I mean, I think we used the whole pack. This is a Husky workbench, super heavy duty. So we were able to just screw the caddy directly into the desk. And then for the tripods, this tripod is the one for my camera with the prompter on it. So that we thought about trying to mount the camera to the wall, but I'm a little hesitant to do that because it feels so permanent. The tripod that was here was this ring light over here, which we mounted to the desk. And the other tripod was for my big studio light, which we mounted to the ceiling. So it is now over here. And then this was a black wire, but again, we use that same wire cover just so that it blends in with the wall a little bit more. Okay, now let's talk about this wall. So over here and on the ceiling, that is the original paint color. And we decided to paint it. It was really hard to pick a color because obviously my instinct is to go purple, but that doesn't make sense since that wall is already so boldly purple. But here's what we picked between. So I don't know what this is gonna look like on camera, but here is a color called After Rain. Here is a color called Sky's the Limit, and this is called Celestial Light. I wanted it to be in the blue family, but I wanted it to be light enough that when I put the RGB light strips on it, it can really change the theme and the vibe in here. So we decided to go with, guess which one? Guess which one? After Rain. So actually, let me show you what everything looks like in here without the RGB lights. Yeah, so it looks like that. Let me turn off the studio lights too. So here you can get a better idea of the blue tint, right? It's very subtle, but when you compare it to the original color, it's actually a pretty decent difference. In terms of functionality, I didn't want shelves. I wasn't planning to put anything on it, but I wanted there to just be, I don't know, texture is the best way I can think of it. So I came up with the idea of putting these faux shelves, I guess, and putting strip lights right behind them. They're not actual shelves. It's more of just like a white strip of wood. Actually, let me show you. So we took a piece of wood right here, and this was like screwed into the studs all the way down, and same over there. But I wanted there to be a little bit more depth, so we put another one over here just to give it a few more inches, so that when we put the light strips, there was enough depth from the wall so that it casts the light. Otherwise it would just like, the light would end here, right? But I really wanted it to cast a glow across the wall. And see how it like comes out here. We also put up these texture tiles. You can get a bunch of patterns, but I really wanted like something like a wave, no sharp corners or anything. And we just used double-sided tape to attach it to the wall. So this is a Govee light strip, and I think this is the 32-foot one. So it starts over there, comes up, goes over here, that way, goes up right there, and then that way all the way back to the corner. And it was like exactly the right length. I wanted a little bit more texture, so I got this, it's not ivy, I forgot what it's called. I'll have the link in the description. But these are just like a fake vine plant, but there's lights, LED lights, like an LED light strip wrapped within it. And it starts down here, goes up around my window, and then goes here, and then across here. And I really like the look of that so much that I decided to get the same vine lights for my book nook. And originally I had icicle Christmas lights here, but I always like hit my head when I was coming in and out of the book nook. So these vine lights are a lot higher, but they still add that vibe and texture. The book nook also has a strip light, a Govee strip light, and it is here where the closet used to be, and it goes all the way around, just so that, again, you can get that glow up here and the glow down here. It also comes around. It's like behind where you're hanging your clothes right here. I stuck it to behind this brown thing, and it goes all the way across. So I really like it because, again, it casts the light on the white shelf up that way. Now, another big thing that we did was replace the ceiling fan light with a Govee ceiling light. And what's cool about this light is it does that same thing where this is the light that goes down into the office, but there's also a ring light on top of it, so you get this glow here. Let me put it on a different light setting to show you. All right, so you see how there's like the rainbow on the ceiling, and that's separate from the light over here. This is a little, that's a little loud for me, but I just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like. Now, another nifty thing that we did was connect everything to a remote control, so I don't have to go around the room and push a bunch of individual switches. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. We're going to turn on divine lights. These are the ambient lights for my studio, and then these are the actual studio lights that light up my desk. Look at that. Look at that. And lastly, desktop wallpaper. Who would have thought, right? So let me turn up the studio light so you can get a matching vibe. I just found these online. I never even thought that animated wallpaper was a thing. So if you look here, there's like shooting star, she's eating her watermelon. There's a corgi on a train over here with his little buddy, and it like does a whole movie that just loops. I got my happy planets over here. And the really fun thing about RGB lights or even the desktop wallpaper is that you can set it to whatever color theme that you want. So if you want something a little bit more warmer and red, it's just a push of a button. Gobi has all kinds of themes, and you can design your own that's pretty much any color that you can think of, and it can blink and change color and stuff like that. And same with the wallpaper. So every morning I come in here and I'm like, what is my mood today? You know, sometimes it's a greener one, it's a redder one, or a purple or a pink or a blue or whatever. You know, initially I felt really, I don't know, conflicted, maybe guilty about wanting to redesign my space because it feels so frivolous. Like it doesn't have any impact on what the viewer sees. And you know, there's definitely a part of me that was like, well, I can't get work done at any desk, you know? But the thing is, for Tom and I, this is our business, right? And if you think about the mom and pop shop down the street, they do put in thought and invest in designing a space that is their storefront, that is their store, that is their restaurant, that is their office, whatever it is. And so even though I was spending all these things like, do I get these fairy lights for the wall? You know, even though it doesn't really have like a direct impact, it has a direct impact on me. And the truth of it is that for a YouTube creator, the YouTube creator is the biggest asset, right? Like I am my biggest asset. And if I can do things like design the physical space that I'm in order for me to be the best version that I can be, oh, it's totally worth it, right? And if I knew how much of an impact it was going to make, I would have done this way earlier. Now, if you want to know about the YouTube part of my space, right? So in this video, I just talked about the office part, but the microphones, the cameras, my desk setup, you know, even with stuff in the background, anything that has to do with making my YouTube content, I'm going to do a studio tour over on my tutorial channel. So if I've already finished it, I'm going to include the link here and in the description. If not, you can stay tuned for that. It'll be coming out soon. Now, I'd love to know, what does your workspace look like? What is your favorite thing about your desk setup? What does the space look like where you are creative or get stuff done? This is obviously a work in progress, so I love to see other things to keep me inspired. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the transformation. I know I loved talking about it. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye.